Cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams. HVRL Cup dreams. Mama, HVRL Cup dreams. Yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams. HVRL Cup dreams. Mama, HVRL Cup dreams. Yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup King, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup King, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup King, HVRL Cup King, HVRL Cup King, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup King, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup King, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup King, HVRL Cup King, HVRL Cup King, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup King, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup King, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup King, HVRL Cup King, HVRL Cup King, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup King, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, yeah, we ain't slowing down.
All right, everybody, and welcome to High Velocity Racing League here on the High Velocity Racing Network. My name is Matthew Chase. I'm the voice of Monday nights. And tonight, High Velocity Racing League Cup Series action here as we start our playoff bracket at Talladega Superspeedway. The 2.66 mile Superspeedway plays host to the YellaWood 250 here for the Cup Series. 94 laps tonight with 3 additional sets of tires, 1 fast repair. Stages at laps 25 and 56. 77-degree ambient temperature with 9-mile-an-hour winds, which could play a factor. You never know. Get a nice little tailwind down one of the straightaways. That'd be pretty important. 118-degree track temp. We'll see what happens here as the Cup Series guys take to the high banks. Ryzen Baker wins the regular season championship after last week's race, and he will lead the points in the round of 12 with 3,400. Second on that list is Garrett Wiles with 3,190. Garrett had a pretty good second half of the season. Christian McCrelly sits at 3,160 and in third right now. Jose Mercado at 3,090 in fourth. Andrew McGarrigle sits in the fifth spot with 3,080. Brandon Dayhoff, I believe, was the first one in on points He will sit in 6th at 30.70, as will Sean Wilder at 30.70, tied there with Dayhoff. Sean Happick will be on the bubble here at 30.60. And then Tom Freitas at 30.20, Chris Polhamus at 30.10, and then Ryan Stevenson and Brad Bohr getting in at 3,000 apiece. Those last four on the outside looking in going into the race here tonight. A round of 12 will consist of Talladega this week, Dover next week, and then Texas to complete that round. Win and you're in to the round of 8. For any of these guys, a win puts them into the round of 8. And we'll see what goes on from there. Practice has almost completed here. Just about 45 seconds left in that practice session. And then we'll be ready to get into the qualifying. And from there, the race. All right, checkered flag flies for practice. And now it's time for qualifying. Looks like Jose Mercado is the first one out. Making sure to keep the tires nice and cool. And trying to build up that momentum around the high side. Most important thing on qualifying is solid wheel inputs. Stable is the name of the game. He is not the first one to cross the line here to start their hot laps. John Fieldley already halfway down the back stretch in the number 27. John got the win last night in the Truck Series race here at Talladega. And a good bar setter there with a 53.996 for Fieldley. Everybody coming in behind him on that first lap so far. There goes Ryzen Baker, and Ryzen loses it after his first lap. down into the inside wall. So 53,986 for the 77. Stevenson gets up to second with a 994. And Fieldley able to jump up to the top of the leaderboard there with his second lap with a 53,937. Dayhoff gets up to fourth. And Shane Johnson in the number 2. On his first lap. Kevin Fry up to the top of the leaderboard now with a 53,902. Great lap for Fry. And a big welcome back to the HVRL Cup Series for him. Brad Bohr up to third. Lap 2 for Johnson, a 54.078 will put him 11th. And that will conclude our qualifying session. And when we come back, we'll have our starting grid for tonight's race. We'll be right back.
Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams, HVRL Cup dreams, HVRL Cup dreams, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the
All right, we are here with our pole sitter tonight, Kevin Fry. Welcome back to the racetrack here for you. How you feeling about your chances here at Talladega tonight?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Well, you've been, I'm assuming, on a boat here for the last little bit and just coming back to the track. Any worry about rust in this car?
A little bit. Just gotta hold the wheel, keep turning left. Good thing it's Talladega, not a whole bunch of technicality.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck, Kevin. We'll hopefully talk to you a little bit later on tonight.
Appreciate it.
Kevin Fry is your pole sitter. Taking a look at the starting grid, he has that inside of row number 1 with John Fieldley to his outside in the number 27. And then row number 2 has Brad Borer in the 24 with your regular season points leader, Ryzen Baker, and your current playoff bracket leader as well. Ryan Stevenson will start in the 5th spot here tonight in the number 5 car with Brandon Dayhoff to his outside. And then Sean Happick will be starting inside row number 4 with Don Miller in the number 63 to his outside. Starting 9th tonight, Jace Keller in the number 45. We'll have Tom Freitas in the 32, rounding out the top 10. Shane Johnson starts inside row number 6 with Jose Mercado in the number 41 to his outside, starting 12th. Christian McCrelly in the 22 starts in 13th here tonight with Chris Polhamus to his outside in 14th. Row number 8 has C.D. Mangrum in the number 9 and Sean Wilder in the number 99. Lots of 9s in that row. Dylan Calkins in the number 90 starts in the 17th position with Garrett Wiles to his outside. Garrett has an EOL penalty here tonight, as does Andrew McGarrigle, but he'll be starting right now in 19th position with Keith Vaughn starting in 20th, and then Mark Miller in the number 8 will round out the field before the end of line penalties. Everybody pulling away from the start-finish line, following that pace car. Talladega has played host to the opening round of the playoffs here for High Velocity Racing League in every one of its series for the last 2 truck seasons. And pretty much every series has kind of adopted that format, with the start at Daytona, the regular season finale at Charlotte, and Talladega being the opening round of the playoffs. Start our regular season with it. We start our postseason with the Superspeedways. "94 laps, the scheduled distance here from Talladega. The pace car dives off. The long drive around the tri-oval of this, the longest track on the circuit, into the restart zone, and the green flag flies as we are racing from Talladega. Good start for the inside group here as Borer gets right to the back bumper of Kevin Fry. And Bohr's going to look to the outside, just trying to not run him over, I guess, down the backstretch. Lots of weaving and wobbling down the backstretch, but just trying to make sure they're not offset tagging the back bumpers. Off turn 4 for the first time. Looks like Kevin Fry and Brad Bohrer will be 1-2 to cross the stripe. And looks like Fieldy might have something to say about that, but it will be Fry leading that first lap of the race. Baker aggressively pushing Fieldy around on the top side. That's sketchy. Okay, he got back in. Those are always scary with the car at the front of the field blinking. Fieldy is clear right now. Bohr not tight up to the back bumper on Fry. That's going to give Baker to the inside. He gets by. I don't know if he was necessarily ready for that to be the case, but Baker going to lead lap number 2. Out of turn 4. A couple drivers deciding to go 3 wide and make some aggressive moves here early on to get some track position. Plenty of room here at Talladega to make that happen. Fieldy got a great push down into turn 1 and 2. As he was able to clear. Here goes Dayhoff to the bottom. And Fieldy will join him. Your top 2 changing hands. That'll move Freitas and Paul Hamas up to the lead on the outside group. Looks like Freitas may have led that lap over Fieldy. And 2 of the front row esports drivers there leading that top group with the third driver in that group, 4th in line right now in Garrett Wiles. Field still in this pack, so that's good. Aggressive side drafting from Paul Hamas. A little bit of contact, Miller. He's going to go down to the inside there now. The outside group is dissolving quickly. And Fieldy looks like he is going to have the lead here for a bit. outside has dissolved quite a bit now. Only a handful of drivers on that outside lane. Still a long way to go for them all. Fieldy blinking. And he goes way high to get out of the way. Make sure he is not affecting anybody there. So good on him. That'll relinquish the race lead to Dayhoff, though. Moves happen on the outside lane. Brad Bohr now leads the outside group with Freitas, Polhamus, Wiles right in line behind him. Oh, Freitas almost on that quarter panel. Got to be real careful in that situation. Polhamus had to get out of line there for a second, so that trio on the outside group, I think that's, yeah, Don Miller is with those guys on that outside lane. But now they're starting to fall back a little bit because they're not tight. Oh, Bohr goes around. And the caution is out. Miller gets involved in that one as well. And that is going to take the first caution of the evening. Let's go back and take a look at it. Yeah, Bohr's front end is caved in. Let's go ahead and watch it. Oh yeah, looks like he might have had the quarter panel there a little bit offset. So Freitas very tight right there, as you can see. Let's go to the chase cam. Maybe go to the far chase cam so we can kind of see what happened. Let's go slow-mo. Freitas very tight to the back bumper. Goes down a little bit. Yeah, just off center. Gets a little bit of a quarter panel or corner there. Down into the 8 goes Bohr. And then back up across. Nowhere for Don Miller to go, as he's going to get the front end of that car caved in a little bit as well. Seems like everybody else gets through no problem, though. So good job avoiding contact. Yeah, Bohr's car is kind of messed up, but let's take a look at Don Miller's car as well. It's like yeah, that front end kind of caved in quite a bit. He's going to have to come down and get some work done on that car. Maybe even the fast repair. Seems like everyone's coming down, though. Borer and Miller able to get out in front of the field, so they will have to come back around and catch up to them. And it looks like two drivers coming down to top off, Mercado and Vaughn. So those guys will be loaded up with a little bit extra fuel on top of everybody else. On the restart, Kevin Fry will be back out leading them to the green flag this time with Ryzen Baker to his outside. And Baker will have a teammate behind him as well in Dylan Calkins. All right, everybody tightening up here as the pace car dives down pit road. Of course, the long drive around the tri-oval once again. And this time, Fry has control of the field into the restart zone, waiting on the green flag. A enormous jump there from Ryzen Baker. And too good of a jump as he's got a black flag. Movement to the outside there is a few different drivers trying to make their way back up in front. Baker's going to have a black flag to serve here. So he's going to have to dive off down pit road once again. As there goes the 77. And now Fry and Mangrum leading the field. Mangrum dives to the inside. That was an aggressive move to the inside, and now Dayhoff will be pushing Mangrum. Wilder comes up tucked right behind the back of the 82 of Fry. As Wilder and Happy will be nose to tail right behind Kevin Fry. Only 13 to go. Little bobble there from Fry. Wasn't quite ready for the bump through the corner. All it takes is a little bit of a mishap, and then all of a sudden we have a similar situation to what we had as our caution just a little bit ago. Mangrum clear, so he could play the lanes if he needed to. Real tight on the inside group there. Those first four drivers in really tight proximity. But now Dayhoff is clear if he wanted to jump to the top. And the downside here for Baker, he was the only one that had to come down pit road, so he will be by himself. Losing a ton of time to the field. There goes Dayhoff up to the top. He'll be clear to come back down if he wants. He and Fieldy both clear. Fieldy goes to the bottom. That's 3 wide behind him. Mangrum stuck in the middle. Lots of movement. Always scary when the guy at the lead in the lead blinks. Shane Johnson spinning behind the field. No caution. He's got the car rolling again. Out front, Mangrum has gotten back to the race lead with 9 to go. Ultra aggressive here. Everybody trying to get those stage points. And Fry's clear, Happy clear as well as he'll dive to the bottom. That'll leave the outside group out to dry. Fieldley gonna try to peek out there. Nobody follows. A lot of people. Oh, 3 wide, 3 wide. That was close. They get that figured out. CD, aggressive side draft. Everybody moving around a lot. Trying to find what works for them. Meanwhile, Kevin Fry leads now with 6, coming to 6 to go in the first stage. And they get it mostly figured out. There is still 3 wide going on. And they do get settled down to 2. Never mind. Looks like Jose and CD looking to make a move to the outside. This will get sketchy with the 3 wide, and there goes a lot of people involved in that one. Caution's out. Wiles is involved. Freitas involved. Bohr got involved in this one as well. See if we can figure out where. I mean, we saw kind of where it was. It was around the lap car. I think it was Mark Miller getting caught up with this. So McGarrigle gets closed in on by Paul Hamus, and that just right hooks the 8 up into everybody in front of him. Wiles, Paul Hamus, Freitas all involved in that one. That was the worst of it. It looks like maybe not knowing they were 3 wide there. CD gets away from it for the most part until he gets down into Borer. Yeah, Borer actually got out of that pretty good for all things considered. Seems like everybody's staying out here. The ones that come down will be the ones that collected damage in that. Or that are the ones that are back there anyway. So it should be a one-lap sprint. Or everybody just stayed out for no reason. See how aggressive everybody is driving here too. That will also tell us if it's a one-lap shootout. Pace car's in. Ryan Field will lead him to the green flag here. Oh, pace car came back out. we should be getting going here in stage number 2 now. Dayhoff has control of the field. It's like old school NASCAR with everyone getting a single file restart. Green flag flies. Dayhoff disappeared. Fieldley goes up to block Keller. The run from Keller. As there's contact between Keller and Fieldley at the front. Fieldley is in the middle of 3 wide. This has worked out for Baker so far. He is in front of the field. And is technically on the lead lap, if only barely. But has his teammate right behind him leading the race. Movement starting to happen from the back. Here comes Keller and Wilder. Mangrum gets up in front of Mercado now. Here comes the top lane. On the outside lane, Gott falls back. Check up on the bottom there as Mangrum gets down to the inside lane. And it seems like all that momentum the top side had is done. And everybody's going to go blasting around Borer now. Brad Borer 1 lap down. has now fallen into a 2-pack race. Polhamus leading that second group with Don Miller, Dylan Calkins, Mark Miller, and John Fieldley. Oh, looks like the start of green flag pit stops as well, as Wilder, Happick, Keller, and Stevenson all came down pit road. And Dayhoff's back in the session as well. Here comes a lot of the leaders, everybody in the lead group. Everybody got woed up in time as well. The one I was worried about was Freitas. He got slowed down in time, though. And here comes Wilder, Happick, and Keller. They're coming off turn 4 right now as everybody's coming out of pit road. Looks like Freitas the first one out. But here comes Wilder leading this trio. They got the speed, and they should be able to make a pass here. Maybe not. Yeah, they're going to have speed. And contact! Well, we were watching it. That's not what we meant to do. This was what we meant to do. same exact thing that happened last time. I thought this initially was like net code from the 77, but it is going to be Hapik into the back bumper of Wilder, off-centered, which set this whole thing into motion right there. As the 99 comes down, tags the 32 in the back right-hand corner, and up into the outside wall for those two. Hapik going to get caught up in that big time as well. McCrelly, we'll see what happens with McCrelly. Oh, yeah, right up in front of McGarrigle. Both of those guys getting some big-time damage as well. And everybody behind seems like they should be good. All right, pace car diving back off down pit road. Wiles gets a good jump on the inside. Wiles leads the way. Watch for Don Miller to jump up in front of teammate Kevin Fry. And there he goes. Mercado actually hopped up in front of Miller as well, as he's going to drop back down in front of Garrett Wiles. And Baker going to run up the middle. And he was dangerously close to getting right hooked into the outside wall there. Inside lane getting a great shove. Here comes Chase Keller to the top in front of Don Miller. As there's 2 to go in stage number 2. Top starting to get that energy built back up into it. Dylan Calkins leading the outside. Here comes Garrett Wiles to the outside on Mercado. He'll clear. Gets back down in front of Mercado after the run. 1 to go in the stage. As Mercado's going to go up to the middle and down to the infield goes, I believe that's Paul Hamus and Dylan Calkins. And the caution does fly. And it looks like Garrett Wiles is going to win stage number 1. Or stage number 2, excuse me. See if we can figure out what happened there. We saw the initial move down to the inside from the 2 of them from that camera. I think they just get hooked up here. Okay, they get separated. Miller Don Miller into the right rear of the 33, Polhamus. Stevenson had nowhere to go. He just tags the 33, and yeah, around those two go. Didn't see what happened to Freitas. Oh, nothing he could do there either. He was just thinking he was clear, and Stevenson loops it and tags that left rear of the 32. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. The damage on the 32. So that'll be stage number 2. Everybody will come down and top off on Sunoco race fuel. Pace car will be diving off here as Baker and McGarrigle, teammates, lead the field to the green flag. Green flag flies. Oh, Baker had to come down and block the run from CD. McGarrigle going up to block the run on the outside. That was interesting. Okay, no meatballs there, but that was quite the shot there as Fieldy came down into Kevin Fry. Didn't see what happened to Vaughn. Single file here for most of the field. Carroll gets forced out to the outside. And there goes Baker. Hard shot to the outside while caution is out as he comes off the nose of the number 9 there. And he had to tow, as I'm guessing that thing blew up the moment it hit the wall. He made a move out to his teammate. Decided not to. Just got absolutely hammered on that. Keller and Stevenson get picked up in that as well. Oh, and Johnson as well, just taking out everybody on that team. right, everybody came in and topped off on fuel, and Mangrum, Fry, Miller, the top three. And I guess Hapik up here in the top four as well. Green flag flies. Mangrum with a pretty big jump. Fry able to get down in line second. And everybody's going to single file up. With 24 to go. Mangrum goes up to the top. And he'll fall back in line in the 5th spot. 6th in line, though, Dayhoff in this group up here at the front. Multiple laps down. Teammates running 1-2, Kevin Fry, Don Miller. Looking to make moves on the outside as he's got Fieldy with him. Look at the push from Wiles getting John Fieldy out in front. Oh, caution, caution is out. Keller and Happy looks like they were the only two that were really caught up in it. We'll see. So it looks like Happy the bottom of 3. And Polhamus just comes down across in front of him. Pretty self-explanatory one there. Inside 20 to go. I would expect everybody to come down and at least top off here. Great pit stop there for Garrett Wiles will get him out in the lead. This time by, we're going to go back racing to take the green flag on lap 81. So it'll be 14 to go. Couple playoff drivers here in the top 5 with Wiles and Mercado. Wilder's right there inside the top 5 area as well. McGarrigle sits on the outside of the top 5, but in the top 10. So he's one to watch as well. Wiles takes the top. Green flag flies, and it's a really good jump on the top line. Wiles and Don Miller. Mercado and Mangrum. And there goes Mangrum. And here comes a bunch of other people caught up in that. And Mangrum gets the best of it, actually, after the fact. As Kevin Fry, Dylan Calkins caught up in it. Checks up, gets tagged by the 27, up into the 90 and the 32. Yeah, the worst of it going the way of Kevin Fry and Dylan Calkins. Freitas also gets caught up in it. It'll be 10 to go here this time by. Garrett Wiles on the inside with Jose Mercado. And that duo gets a great jump. Don Miller comes down in front of Ryan Stevenson. Will they wait to make the moves for the race win? You got a second lane forming back there. Ryzen Baker leading that group. Starting to build up some energy. 7 cars in that outside line. They just got an 8th one as John Fieldley now leads that group. Going to lose some of that momentum. They did have a couple of them side by side back there. Stevenson's going to pop up in front of Fieldley. Goes Fieldley. Caution is out. Oh, the blink. Yeah. When he came back, car wasn't fully there. As Baker went through the bumper and then around. Oh, and he actually went through the back bumper of the 5 as well. And then around goes the 27. Looks like he was the only car involved. As far as damage is concerned. And our 8th caution of the night. 4 of our top 5 drivers here right now are in the playoffs. Garrett Wiles, your race leader. 2nd place, Jose Mercado. And then 4th place, Andrew McGarrigle and Chris Polhamus running out the top 5. Those 4 drivers are in the playoffs. And then 2 more drivers in the top 10 in Ryzen Baker and Sean Happick. Wilder was in that group in the top 10, but now he is pitting, so he's going to go ahead and get, I'm guessing, more fuel and enough to get through potentially the green-white checkers. Seeing some potential writing on the wall there, maybe. So if we can keep it green, a green-white checkered. 3 to go as they take the green flag here once again. If not, the next caution will bring out our first of 3 potential overtimes. Lots of playoff drivers here trying to lock their way in. To the round of 8. All right, pace car is going to dive off. Garrett Wiles has control. On a long drive around the tri-oval and into the restart zone. It's a pretty good jump on the high side as Wiles is clear down to the bottom. If he wants it, he will drop down in front of Jose Mercado. Doesn't want to get too far out in front. And 3 wide already back there. This time by, it'll be 2 to go. And the caution is out. So we will go to overtime. So there's contact back there. Okay. All right, they're 4 wide there. Offset 4 there. Vaughn was able to clear. And then Happy. Yeah, I don't know. Happy definitely not clear. He and Calkin's going to get a fry sandwich there. Not entirely sure what happened there afterwards. But yeah, the caution is out, so we will go to overtime. So 3 shots at overtime. A green-white checkered. It can be pretty anxious and nerve-wracking. It has been 2.5 hours. Yep. It has indeed. All right, our first overtime opportunity. Again, green-white checkered here. They get back to the white flag. The next flag will end the race. Has been a lot of yellows, 9 or 10 cautions. 9 cautions so far, only one of them have been an actual stage break, yes. Garrett Wiles starts on the outside. Jose Mercado on the inside. Those two drivers both playoff eligible drivers. And the green flag is back in the air here. Wiles with a pretty good jump. Mangrum going to get down in front of teammate Mercado. Watch out for the duo on the outside. And watch out for that duo in second and third. They made it around back to the white flag, so this race is official. As Don Miller goes to the outside on Mercado. And Mercado comes up into Don Miller, and Miller still having difficulty trying to get that thing collected. Wiles could be a sitting duck here. Mangrum and Mercado teammates. There goes Mangrum. Polhamus a teammate for Wiles. Mangrum down in front of Wiles. Wiles makes a move. Can't get to him. He's going to go to the outside. Mangrum going to win this race. CD Manger, one of our championship 4 last season, not going to make the playoffs, or isn't going to have a chance to make it this year. He's not in the playoffs, but he does get himself a race win here at Talladega.
Feeling pretty good, man. I stayed in it. Try to avoid all the wrecks. And then just didn't really worry about stage points. Trying to get be there at the end so we can move on to the with good points for the next racetrack for the first round. So it was a pretty good race. Nice, clean race.
Decent amount of cautions, but you were able to keep the car pretty clean for most of the race and stay up near the front. How important was it to be in that position throughout most of the race?
Yeah, believe it or not, I couldn't believe it myself. I finished with 0x. Um, I didn't believe that on a play track, but
you take those.
Kept it pretty clean. Stayed out of trouble. Was working out actually with Garrett there whilst towards the end, those last 2, 3 restarts. We were working together. I was telling him pushing you till last lap, then we go for it. Unfortunately, that last restart, CD was able to clear himself and then got pushed out by the 63, and it was 2 versus 2. They're 2 teammates against us 2 teammates.
Yeah. Yeah, and in that situation, it's teammate over everything in that regard. But yeah, you're able to get CD out in front, get him clear of Garrett, and then a last ditch effort from Garrett didn't really get a good enough run down through the tri-oval to get the win. But you put yourself in a position to finish on the podium and get a good points day. Next week we go to Dover. How do you feel about Dover?
Another tire saving track. It's a tough track, really weird. The setup it's not really good. So it's gonna be tire conservation and try to be there at the end. I believe it's a fuel race as well, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, just was hoping I could get a good points day today, so I don't have to worry too much about Dover.
Well, you were successful there, finishing in the third position. Anybody want to shout out though, Jose?
Uh, the GTR guys, CD, good win for him. Garrett, I know he wanted to win, but at least he finished second. Good working with him. I felt like I was working with him like the whole race from the back, trying to come to the front. And everybody puts the league together. Sean, you up there in the booth, everybody at high velocity. Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, Jose. We will catch you next time, and have a good night.
Thank you, man. You too, Cash. Next week.
That's Jose Mercado finishing in the third position here tonight. And then we're going to go ahead and grab second place Garrett Wiles. Sometimes being in the lead on the last lap is the worst position you can be in, especially when there's two teammates behind you. I know you were up front for a good portion of that race, Garrett, but a second place finish is still a good points day. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's definitely a good points day. I know I did lead the most laps, so I got the bonus point there. So plus where I finished it's definitely gonna help. Winning a stage and then finishing second helps. I feel like I was more there. I was more trying to help a teammate than I was to actually win the race there. With Chris being right behind me when Jose and CD made the move, I decided I had plenty of room to go up to block it, but instead I stayed down to help my teammate, and then I just made the move late because of I just didn't want to take a chance and leave him to hang to dry. But watching the replay, there was plenty of room, so he would have been able to finish fourth regardless. So I mean, it's half dozen one, half dozen another. So it all in all a good points day.
That's all you can ask for.
Especially coming from the back. I was the last car on the racetrack when we went to green. So
exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. You started in the back with the EOL and then worked your way towards the front pretty quickly, actually. There was a lot of three wide action to get you guys that were the fast ones at the back all the way up to the front here early on in the race. And then once you got up here, it felt like you were up here for the most part, other than I know you got involved in one incident. Was that midway through stage
early.
1?
Yeah, and I didn't have a fast repair from there, so I was kind of just, in a way, just trying to be safe because for points wise, and a couple wrecks that I was able to avoid. So, it was an up down for sure race. I love Talladega. I love Superspeedway racing. I feel like I'm really good at it. There was a couple times today even I was able to push, being the third car back and pushing two cars in front of me, clear them, and then they just up and left me. I'm like, well, that sucks. But it just so happened my teammates were involved in a wreck, so they were out back and I didn't have anybody else with me, and it is what it is. So it's hard to do Talladega without friends, and especially having friends up in front. Luckily there was two teammates on one side of it and two teammates on the other side. It just, if Toronto would have been able to get to me just a half a second sooner, CD wouldn't have been able to clear, and we would have had the momentum to keep clear of them. So it is what it is. It's part of racing, and we'll move on next week to Dover.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I wanted to bring up was how good of a push you were able to give, even when you said in third in line, but I want to highlight the second in line when you were able to get a great push on. I want to say that was Fieldly early on in the race. You guys were like third or fourth in line to the inside group, and then all of a sudden down the backstretch you were able to get him clear out in front, and both of you guys were able to get down to the inside. Talk me through your ideal of being able to push somebody that aggressively.
Just a lot. I do a lot of money races, so I have a lot of experience running different cars at super speedways. When you race against people like Garrett Maines and all them in money races, you learn real quick on how to push people. And that one that you're talking about, that was very, very sketchy because I had a huge run on the backstretch getting pushed from behind, and then Fieldly was gone, and then all of a sudden he just appeared right in front of me. So I had to lift big time, and it just so happened it was kind of like the perfect lift to where I just got to his bumper and I stayed there. And once I got there, my temps were so low that I was able to just push and push and push. I love pushing at this track. I love pushing at Daytona even. I feel like I can push. If we had radiators that would keep the cars cool, I could probably push all the way around the track for laps after laps after laps. I showed that tonight. I was able to push in the corners. As long as I have somebody that can hold the line in front of me, I feel like I'll be able to push them. So that just, I don't know, something about this track and the way these draft packages work. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I do pretty well at them for sure. But it is what it is. Well, wins better than anything, but at the same time, I'm in the playoffs. I got a pretty good points buffer now, so we'll move on to Dover. I'm not a huge Dover fan, but then again, I wasn't a huge Martinsville fan either, and I led most of that race and should have won that race. So it's one of those things. As long as I put the work in, then I feel like I'm competitive at it. So I just got to put some work in this week and be ready to go for Dover next week.
All right. Well, you took my next question out of there. So, what do you who'd you like to shout out there, Garrett?
My teammates, Tom, he was pushing pretty well today on me, as well as Chris Paulhamus, and then Jose Mercado. We made a deal, I think, before the first green white checkered that he messaged me, said, "Hey, I'll take the top side and he'll give me room to jump down in front of him," and it worked out. Did it 2 times in a row. I at the time did not realize that CD was his teammate, so if I would have known that, I would have probably stayed out a little bit longer on the high side instead of bringing CD with. But I felt like if I did that, then I wasn't going to get down there. So, I mean, it's half dozen one, half dozen another. But for sure, Jose, my teammates, my family, and then you guys up here up in the broadcast booth. I mean, you guys, just you tonight, it looks like. But normally, you guys are up here and you guys do a hell of a job. And then the league in general. I mean, coming from me and Tom and Chris Mulhamis, we ran our own league on Friday nights with the Cup cars as a full series. Followed the entire NASCAR series, so it's a long season, open setup league, and we've done it for the last 6-7 years now, and we were just needed a break. So coming to over here, finding this league, it was a great turn of pace to where I probably won't. We'll do our own league, but I'm gonna probably stay here as well and run both. So you guys do a hell of a job. Happy you, just all the admins. I appreciate you guys very much.
All right, Garrett. Well, congrats on the second place finish here. A good points day for you. We'll catch you at Dover next week.
Absolutely. See you guys next week.
That's Garrett Wiles, your second place finisher. And last but not least, we'll grab our race winner. And that is the number 9 of CD Mangrum. CD, a great last lap move with the help of your teammate to get you out in front and a race win under your belt here at Talladega. How you feeling after the win, buddy?
Yeah, I feel great. Love Dega. Just kind of letting it rip out there. Yeah, like you said, Jose and I was able to get in a decent spot there on the last restart. And, I was prepared to push the 91 Garrett all the way, at least until the trial. We'll try to make it between, us two. But oil temp was getting a little high, and I peeped out the rear view, and it looked like we had some clearance if we were going to make the move. And, I told Jose, if we're going to make it, we got to make it now. And, I thought maybe we would get clear and we would just kind of make it between ourselves. But 91 had help, and I was able to get right down in front of him at the last minute and hold him off. So, great racing from Garrett and then everybody up front there at the end. And obviously, just a huge shout out to Jose for the push. I'd have pushed him if it was the other way around. So just glad to get a good finish, glad to get a win for GTR. Yeah, that's what we're about here now. We're just trying to get wins. We're not in the playoffs. Just trying to get as many as we can with the remaining schedule.
I was going to say, you're not in the playoffs. Last season, you made the championship 4, but now for you, it's all about trophy chase.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about your chances through the rest of this playoff, being able to be kind of play spoiler for some of these playoff drivers?
Yeah, there's a few good tracks left. I really I was so MIA, and I turned on YouTube one day and I saw y'all were racing at Michigan, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know y'all were racing. Next Gen's back, so I was just kind of completely out of the loop. So came in late, but yeah, there's a few tracks left in the playoffs that I enjoy and will make an appearance at. I don't want to get too involved in spoiler at some of the tracks. I don't want to get in the middle of guys fighting for points and stuff. I know how that can be. So we're gonna you know do it strategically with what we got remaining.
All right. Well, Dover's next week. I know that you've done some racing at Dover, of course, in this series in season 1. How do you feel about your chances next week at Dover if you make an appearance?
I mean, Dover's a good track. I mean, I don't think I'm the fastest there, but usually around the top 5, and you know, most tracks, if I could get a clean race in, I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. Dover's just kind of one of them tracks. It's pretty grueling. Um, so if you gotta save your tires as well. So we'll see. I know after that we got what Texas, and then Iowa, Sonoma, Auto Club, what Vegas. There's a few tracks in there. The non-car will be out there. Don't worry. Hopefully the fans are out for it as well.
Yeah, we definitely enjoy seeing the number 9
Love
out
the
there.
fans.
We definitely enjoy seeing the number 9 out there for sure. Well, anybody you want to shout out, CD, before we let you go tonight?
Yeah. Shout out to GTR, Jose, the whole team. Shout out to you doing the broadcast, admins, everybody making this possible. Most importantly, like I always say, shout out to the fans. Love the fans. I hope they enjoyed the show tonight. Yeah, we're gonna have some Bud Heavies here after this, and we'll roll into the workday tomorrow on a high note.
All right, well, crack one for me there too, CD.
Yeah,
Congrats on the race win, buddy,
crack
and
two
we'll
for
catch
you.
you. Hey, there you go. There you go. Congrats on the race win, bud. We'll catch you next week.
Appreciate it. Take care.
That is CD Mangrum, the race winner here tonight in the number 9 car. Playing spoiler to the playoff drivers, teammate of Mercado and the 91 of Wiles, both looking for a win to lock themselves into the round of 8, but CD Mangrum able to take it away there at the end. So congrats to him and everybody else that made it there in the top 5. And yeah, looks like we are all done here tonight. Let's take a look at what we've got on deck for the rest of this week. Well, we're going to start it off tomorrow night as the ARCA drivers take on Nashville Superspeedway. And then concluding out our racing for the week, the Xfinity Series will take on Talladega here as well as they start their playoff on Wednesday night. So that'll do it here for the High Velocity Racing League Cup Series with the YellaWood 250. Congrats to CD Mangrum. And we'll see what we have on tap next Monday as the drivers go and take on the Monster Mile for 200 laps. So for everybody here at High Velocity Racing League, my name is Matthew Chase. We will catch you tomorrow night for the ARCA Series race.